Hey, what's up? How are you? Welcome to Model Pic Station.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love the fit. I love the vibes.
Thank you so much.
So, let's just jump right into it. Give a little introduction.
So, my name is Hasika Suri. I'm a social media marketer and a model. Um, a way to describe me, I guess, is just someone who loves looking at little things and finding the beauty in them, even if they're conventionally not called beautiful. I love aesthetics and just having fun and being free.
I love that. Being free. That's
Yes.
important. So how'd you get started in like content creating and social media marketing? Like, could you remember the first time that you kind of wanted to pursue that field?
Honestly, when I was 6 years old, I had already known that this is what I wanted to do. But growing up, I didn't really follow that because of society, family, all of that stuff. But I guess 2 years ago is when I was like, you know what? It's time to listen to my tiny self. And that's basically how I got started.
And what changed 2 years ago? Like, what was that moment 2 years ago that made you say, you know what, this is it?
I guess I reached a point where I was like, you know what, like I'm not really living for myself. I'm living for what other people want.
Right.
And that just didn't bring a lot of happiness. And I was like, maybe I should give myself a chance.
That is such a key too. You said an important thing, happiness.
Yes.
I love that. It's very important. And when it came to content creating, how did you decide on what to create? Like what to actually start with?
Yeah, so actually for me, it was pretty easy to kind of like get into this. I just loved being, what's it called? Like, I just loved creating things and learning how to create things. So, like, editing, just making a way for my vision to come true. So, I always kind of had that, like, passion to do that. And then just every night, like, at home, I would just watch YouTube videos and whatever and just kind of figure out different techniques and ways that I can make my visions come true. And then I just incorporated that with fashion, which is another hobby of mine that, like, since I was younger, I've just always loved clothes, and I just put the two together.
Wow. And that's how it all started. That's how
It
the
all
whole thing. Okay. And do you remember your first projects? Like,
Yes.
how did that go?
So on my Instagram, I kind of created a campaign for myself first, which was a scrapbook campaign. So in my like personal life, I love scrapbooks. I love keeping little tiny things of every adventure that I've been like through.
Really?
And yeah, and even things with like my baby brother, because I just like love him so much. So just like random stickers of his, and I
Yeah.
have all of that.
Shout out, baby brother. What's his name?
Arnav Suri.
Shout out. Okay.
Um, and I just decided that I would take my Instagram like the same way. I'd make it like a scrapbook. And that kind of made me like whenever I would like take a picture, it kind of forced me to be more creative anyways, because I'm like, how can I make this scrapbooky?
Oh wow.
So
That's interesting. A scrapbook. So right now you have a bunch of scrapbooks in your
on my Instagram, yeah.
in your room. Wow.
And in my room, yeah.
And how did you go about like marketing yourself?
I believe a lot in authenticity and just like being true to yourself, being who you are. And how I've kind of marketed myself is with three kind of main key pillars, I guess, of myself.
Okay.
So just three things that I really, really love and enjoy that I want to make sure that I'm sharing with others. And one of that is Bollywood. My culture is very important to me. The other I would say is fashion. I do believe in expressing yourself through your clothes. And then the third one is just making it seem like you're not perfect. So on my Instagram, I don't want to make it seem like I'm always happy, I'm always whatever, like perfect, picture perfect. It's whatever is happening, I want to be real. I want to like say how I'm feeling, what I'm going through, and I guess those three things are very important to me.
It's important. So kind of show the audience that you're like a real person.
Exactly.
Instead of like everything on Instagram being all fake and like just like perfect and like
Yeah.
happy. And you feel like there's the response, like how's the response been to that?
It's so amazing. It's so supportive. It's
Okay.
so inspiring. I feel so good when people message me and they're like, "Hey, this inspired me to do this," or "This
wow.
just made me want to like actually stand up for myself. Or
Right.
yeah, it makes you feel really
Right.
good that people are able to relate.
That's so important too for our audience to hear that, because there's probably people going through the exact same thing, right? Trying to
Yeah.
figure out how to connect, and yeah, I feel like that's what social media is also for.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I noticed you're into fashion. You also mentioned it, and modeling. Now, how'd you get into that? Like, how'd you get into the photo shoots? Like, how'd you book your first projects?
It honestly is kind of 50-50, where like I will reach out to someone or they kind of connect with me through like mutuals or just networking. And my first one, I'm trying to remember. I honestly think that what I did, like I basically worked on my portfolio on my Instagram. So just kind of showing people what I do, what I enjoy. And then when I connect with someone on Instagram, I just allow them to kind of see my page as like my workbook or like my portfolio in a
Right.
way. And then just ask them for a collaboration or for anything else. Yeah.
So you reach out to people as well.
Yes.
People reach out to you.
Exactly.
Very important too, to get yourself out there to all the people listening and watching.
Exactly.
And let's see here. You've also modeled for fashion shows that
Yes.
I seen on your page, right?
Mhm.
How'd you get into that? Like, did brands also reach out to you, or did you hit them up? And
Yeah, so it was like both. So in the beginning I did kind of like reach out, but then afterwards when I kind of started building my portfolio, brands were like reaching out. And that was really nice because it kind of gives me like a confirmation that like I'm doing a good job or that I'm putting myself out there and yeah, just like that. And the first time that I got involved is actually funny because I was driving and on the radio is when I heard that people, there was someone who was looking for like a model for their like runway show. And that like, I was like, you know what, like, why not? So I just went for it. And then after that, things just started coming in.
off the radio.
Off of the radio. So
Wow.
people listening.
You remember what radio station? You remember what?
It was
remember the
99.9.
99.9?
Yeah.
God damn. Shout out to 99.9.
Represent.
Facts. And then when I was going through your page and trying to do a little bit of research on you, I realized you're the founder of Rocket Media HD.
Yes, that's
right?
correct.
Now, for people that aren't familiar with Rocket Media HD, what is that? Like,
Yeah, for sure. So Rocket Media HD is a business that I launched where we provide social media marketing services. It kind of ranges from anything like taking full, like, what's it called? Taking full control of your account, like management, to simple things like creating videos, editing them, posts, marketing strategies. So anything kind of related to the social media marketing aspect, we do that.
that is super fire.
Thank you.
Good for you too. And how long you started like been doing that, or?
A couple months.
Couple months?
Is when
Okay.
it started. I've been working for a long time, but I just recently put a name to it
Right.
3 months ago.
That's good though. At least you're getting it flowing,
Exactly.
figuring it out, right? And actually, this is good too because you just started. So, like, what are some of the challenges you're facing starting a new business? Because a lot of people don't know about this part.
Oh,
Like, when you're
God,
first
yeah.
starting out, it's not easy, right?
It's not easy.
So, like, what are some of the like challenges you faced?
I would say I have a little bit like, okay, so I am grateful that in the beginning of this, I did have a lot of leads, but I feel like something challenging would be to kind of get more leads from, because like obviously there's different markets like your cold and hot market and all of that, but I
Wait,
guess.
hold on. You said cold and hot market.
Yes.
Okay, so break that down for me, because break this down. Cold and hot, because people don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
So what's cold and hot markets?
So the hot market would be just like your friends, family, people that are kind of already in your connection, people that you don't have to really establish like a new relationship with. That's
Okay.
how I would describe it. Versus cold marketing, you got to really put yourself out there. You have to introduce yourself to the other person and tell them why your business would be good for them.
So it's kind of like a cold pitch?
Exactly.
Or like cold calling? Oh, hot and cold? Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
And what does Hasika do when she's not being creative? Because I know you're definitely on the go, right? You're always trying to figure things out. How about your downtime?
I love watching movies.
What kind of movies?
Bollywood movies.
Bollywood movies?
Bollywood represent.
Shout out. See how they get to the camera right now?
Bollywood represent.
Shout out. Okay. And what else? Like what like do you like are you into like reading books? Are you into like
Yes. Okay, so in my downtime, I love watching movies. I love reading books on self-development. I love drawing and creating like outfits.
Wow. So you design as well?
Yes, I do.
Is there a brand coming in the works maybe
Hopefully
in the future?
Soon.
So okay. And it actually leads into my next question, okay? What is next for 2023?
Oof.
What we're in January, February?
Yep.
Right? We got a whole year ahead.
Wow. I love this question.
Yeah.
What's coming next is more of following your childhood dreams. So more of making my inner child happy.
Okay.
What else is coming next is getting out of my comfort zone. I really want to make sure that I'm challenging myself every single day. So like doing things that I, would be out of my comfort zone, like things I wouldn't necessarily want to do or feel comfortable.
Kind of challenge yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, is that also creative wise or just life wise? Like really just going on and like doing stuff like.
I would say both.
Okay.
Yep.
And we're about to wrap it up. Okay. So now, one thing you want to say to the audience. It could be a quote. It could be something that you want to just leave people with.
Okay, wow. One thing that I would leave people with is just a simple liner. It's to live fearlessly. Live fearlessly. Yes.
That's amazing, man. Thank you for coming by the station.
I really appreciate this.
Next stop, Model Pic Station.